what is yoga from our point of view? Basically, you can divide it into three. One is physical, for the body, other the mind, and third the spirit. Now, the third spirit need not always be connected to yoga. Actually, yoga philosophy comes from Sankhya. And in Sankhya philosophy, there is not even a concept of Ishvara. And the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, there is only one place where Ishvara is mentioned, which is Ishvara Pranidhanena. But you must understand that very close to Ishvara Pranidhanena, it also says Aushadhanani, which means this samadhi or these siddhis are possible through contemplation of Ishvara. Well, contemplation of Ishvara, they may also be possible through mind-altering drugs. Aushadhana. So, Ishvara and Aushadha are not very far away in this mention. Now, why I am saying this is, I believe in God. For me, God is important. God meaning the Supreme Being, Supreme Brahman. Not necessarily the God who plays with the world like puppets, not that God. Because even in ancient Hindu philosophy, God is a very loose concept. It's a sublime concept which cannot be put into any bracket and made into a particular defined concept. It's so undefined. When the Upanishad says, Yan manasana manyute yanavur manomatam, Upanishad is Shruti, that we accept. Now it is one of the oldest of Shrutis is Kena Upanishad, which comes from the Samaveda. Yan manasana manyute yanavur manomatam, that which even the mind cannot conceive of. But because of which the mind owes its origin to. Tadeva brahmatvam vidvi nedam yadidam upasate is a very sweeping statement. That alone is the truth. Understand, nothing that you worship here. Nedam yadidam upasate. Now, that does not mean Adi Shankara, who is the most important proponent of the philosophy of Advaita and Advaita Vedanta, has written commentaries on all the Brahma Sutras and all the Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita and so many other texts, Viveka Chudamani, Drigdiksha Viveka, and so many others. It's the same Shankara who also wrote the elaborate method of worshipping the Devi in Saundarya Lahari. So there is no actually dichotomy between worshipping a personal God and the understanding of the Supreme Brahman in Vedanta. I personally fall in this category. I think so. It is my experience and I think so. Now, yoga is defined in the Yoga Shastras as yoga's chitta vritti nirodha. Yoga is the nirodha of the vrittis of the chitta. Let's translate. Yoga means it is the stilling or silencing the distracting vibrations of the mind stuff. Anything that contributes to that is automatically yoga. When a devotee, a bhakta, is singing a lovely song, he is fully absorbed in the deity about whom he sings. Where are the vrittis of the chitta? Nothing is left. Everything has subsided, there is only that feeling. When you finish, it may reappear. Now, yoga means permanently getting rid of these vrittis. Vrittis meaning the waves that move up and down in the mind. You know that. I'm sitting here, my mind is outside. Have I forgotten to take the car keys? Have I parked properly? It's also a vritti. I'm sitting here, I'm wondering, do they have good vadas in munch downstairs. So, and they are all dependent on our vasanas. Every human being has some vasanas. Now Tantra and Bhakti succeed in bringing these vasanas and directing them towards the divine. So that you are not actually deprived of them, but you are pointed in a different direction. Because it is not easy for everybody to cut it off at the roots. Okay. Having said this, what is the step-by-step movement in yoga? First are the Yama and Niyamas. Now, these Yama and Niyamas are very simple. They mean that you should have some control over yourself. You can't expect to become a yogi by saying, I'll do whatever I want to do, but I want to be a yogi. Now, this is not possible. So, the basic thing is moderation. Neither too much, not too little. Neither too much food, not too little. The yogis don't starve themselves. Starving is different from fasting. Starving is lack of food. Fasting is deliberately not taking food. So, a yogi doesn't fast for days together. He knows when to fast and when to stop, and when to eat and when not to eat. This, if you take moderation as your keynote, as Krishna says in the Gita, this yoga is not for him who eats too much or eats too little, or sleeps too much or sleeps too little. This is the main criteria. Are you moderate in your approach to life? It's all right to keep some things, some possessions, but are they become excessive? Can you throw some out and be free? You know this habit of keeping old clothes without throwing them one bunch, and then you don't know what to do with them. Then you have to look for pesticides, all kinds of. And if a servant who doesn't have clothes by mistake takes one, it's gone. Hell breaks loose. You don't need them. You need only what you need. So this thing about gathering, when you becomes a little loose, then you begin to scatter it away and become simple in your life. Not too many things, not too many, but not that you should live like a sannyasin. No, we are all not sannyasins, and yoga is not meant only for sannyasins. Many great yogis were householders, including the great Rishi Yajnavalkya. Latest contemporary times, Lahiri Mahashaya, Shyamacharan Lahiri, who lived in Banaras, was a householder. He was recognized as one of the greatest of yogis. And even great sannyasins like Trailanga Swami used to go to him to sit down sometimes and get some understanding of things. So it's not, and a yogi is not distinguished by what he wears. Really, I came here wearing kurta and mundu because otherwise I like it, that's one part of the story. But I could have come with a t-shirt and jeans. Except that with jeans it is difficult to sit in a yogic posture, it gets tight everywhere. A yogi need not be distinguished by what he wears, how he, but you can make out by the way he behaves and how he lives. That you can make out. How? Try to make a yogi angry. Now, if you have not controlled your anger, you have not even practiced 1 degree of Yama and Niyamas. Because one of the things in Yama and Niyama is to maintain equanimity and not get upset over anything. So, simple food, simple life. This is basically, and moderation is the key to Yama and Niyamas. I am not going to tell you specifically any Yama and Niyama. Follow this golden rule and you are free. Then comes, after Yama and Niyama, asana.